Hello, good morning everyone. Today I would like to present a few points about learning and types of learning, that is whole method or part method, and the few concept of forgetting itself. How we can work on content is called as learning. So, learning is defined as relatively permanent change in behavior as a result of many experiences. Learning principles focus on how people learn and interact with their environment. Learning is a process of acquiring knowledge, information which is from home to tomb, and this occurs throughout the life. Everyone has to learn some skills or techniques to live and adapt themselves to the environment. Psychologists proposed some techniques based on learning concepts to improve the learning process and retention power of the individual. A few methods are verbal learning, whole method, part method, masked and spaced method, known to unknown, easy to difficult. Verbal learning by vocabulary, that is two types. Serial learning, that is reading directly from the book. Paid method, by using the pairs. Meaningful techniques. When any content is learned with understanding, then it will be giving always fruitful results. Means we cannot by heart any content. If you understand the inner concept or the content, then the learning will be permanent for longer time. Whole versus part method. Studying one at a time is called as whole method. Means as a whole, one unit if you study at a time, that is called as a whole. That is maths concepts or complete one unit. Part method is making or breaking into parts, studying them individually, and at the end again joining them as a together one topic and learning. This is called as a part method. Masked versus spaced. Means studying continuously is called as masked method, and taking breaks or gaps in between the learning is called spaced method. Known to unlearn. Learning the known things which are familiar is very easy than learning the unknown things. Easy to difficult things. When we start learning with very known or easy topics, we feel very comfortable and we will understand in less time than understanding the difficult or complex topics. The other methods can be active recitation, notes writing, repetition, relearning. It is said that when we write and learn the things or concept, it is 10 times more remembered than just simple reading. So reading is always, that is taking notes while learning is always the best method of learning. The simple concept of forgetting is when we are unable to collect the information as needed, it is called as forgetting. Disuse of any sort of information leads to unconscious forgetting of information. This can be proactive forgetting and retroactive forgetting. Proactive forgetting means past learned events will affect newly learned things. Retroactive means newly learned things, means recently learned things will always affect the past learning. So these two are called as forgetting stages or methods or types, we can say. The percentage of forgetting in relation to time. After 20 minutes of time, we forget nearly 40% of content. By one day, 66% is lost. By second day, 72%. By sixth day, 75%. By 1 month, nearly 79% of material or information is lost if we don't use it again and again. So, to avoid forgetting, we have to keep few hours in mind. That is, learning can be enhanced by retention, recall, recognition, relearning, rehearsal or repetition methods. When we do this, it will be permanently fixing in the long-term memory, and the permanent will be meaningful for longer time. Coming to in detail about whole and part method. Whole method, this needs continuous repetition of entire material until the desired state of mastery is attained. If the task is easy and high in interdependence, for example games, it allows learner to experience easiness for skills and learns easily in less time. It is developed by Richard, Albert and Sampson, and it's quite easy to learn. Whole skills are repeatedly practiced until they are performed perfectly. It's applied to relatively simple tasks. The complete blocks of material is memorized and learned as a single unit. Sometimes it reduces overall performance. Example, annual exams, or a professor delivers entire lesson or the topic in a single session. Coming to part method. We learn few things step by step or stanza by stanza. Example, songs, grammar, etc. Learning either by whole or part method depends on the type of the material, length of the material, and the way of organization. Example, a poem or a long answers are learnt by part method, whereas maths, physics, formulas, concepts are learned by whole method, as they should be learned at a time about one concept or formula. In detail about part method, here the material is divided into meaningful parts or subunits. So it is learned a bit by bit and finally put together. Whatever may be the method of learning, the content should be important and should be understood thoroughly. It's a verbal form of learning technique in which the material is divided into small sections, each practiced separately and again learnt in proper serial order. It's the best method when the task is too big. So when we cannot study as a whole, better we divide into small chunks or small pieces of information and learn it very thoroughly. So it can be applied when the thing is very complex and low in interdependence. So the breakdown skill is used to provide more detailed feedback, and it may enhance the performance of skills of the students. The best example is semester exams. So the whole syllabus is divided into 2 or 3 semesters so that we can learn thoroughly and present in examinations. So that makes the learning permanent. Thank you.